The Christmas season is upon us. I'm Walter Benaziak.
I'm Heather Roos.
And I'm Hannah Wade.
And this is Top 5. There are so many wonderful images that pop into people's heads when you think of the holidays. Santa, hot cocoa, presents.
Don't forget murder.
What?
Oh yeah, and nightmare-inducing monsters!
This is supposed to be a nice, warm holiday top 5.
These are the top 5 best Christmas horror movies. Number 5. Silent Night, Deadly Night. This 1984 slasher movie was so controversial when it first premiered, it was pulled from theaters almost a week after its opening. Silent Night, Deadly Night is a story of Billy. On Christmas Eve, his family is on the way home from visiting their grandpa at a state mental facility. There, Billy's grandpa tells him that Santa not only brings presents to those who are good, but punishes those who have been naughty. This instills an unhealthy fear of Santa that grows once his parents are brutally murdered that night by a man wearing a Santa costume. Billy runs away but watches the whole thing. He and his brother survive and are taken to an orphanage. While he is there, Billy is abused by some nuns who try to force him to overcome his fear and PTSD associated with Santa. The Mother Superior also teaches him the important lesson that
punishment is absolute. Punishment is necessary. Punishment is good.
Billy grows into a young adult and, of course, ends up working for a toy store. On Christmas Eve, he is asked to play Santa. This is one step too far for Billy. He snaps and begins going on a murder rampage to punish all the naughty people. This movie is exactly what you would expect it to be. It's a gory slasher film about a killer Santa. It's kind of fun and dramatic. Expect lots of fake blood, crazy eyes, and interesting ways to kill people. If that sounds like it's right up your alley, enjoy this film with the rest of the cult following it has accumulated over the years.
Number 4. Rare Exports, A Christmas Tale. This film took a sinister angle on the legend of Santa Claus and has since become a cult classic. In the Finnish mountains on the border of Finland and Russia, an excavation team is drilling deep into the ice. What they're looking for isn't exactly jolly old Saint Nick. A young boy named Piarti discovers that they're trying to dig up the tomb of the original Santa Claus. However, the real Santa is a much more demonic figure that kidnaps and beats naughty children. Now Piarti's friends are all disappearing, and his father captures a sickly-looking man with a long white beard. The truth behind these strange occurrences gives a whole new meaning to Here Comes Santa Claus. I know not everyone likes reading subtitles, but Rare Exports is worth it. There are some English-speaking segments, as the leader of the excavation team is supposed to be American.
This is not Santa.
What?
It's one of Santa's little helpers.
Close enough. In this world, the Coca-Cola Santa Claus is said to have been a lie. When all that mythology starts to play out around the characters, we get some really unsettling scenes, especially with the old man Piarti's father is captured.
So you're...
The tone is set here by some great cinematography. It really captures the eerie feeling in the air and showcases the environment well. Piarti is a solid character that we get to see shine towards the end of the film. He solidifies this movie's status as something special, while the visuals and lore make Rare Exports an unmissable, creepy Christmas tale.
Number 3. Krampus. I hope you've been good this year because Ancient Santa has come to punish your entire family. Merry Christmas! The opening to Krampus was one of my favorites. It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas plays while hordes of Black Friday shoppers fight over sales. The imagery is an honest reflection of modern holiday consumerism. Tom and Sarah get ready for their extended family to visit, while their son Max writes his letter to Santa. When the rest of the family arrives, we see that the two sides are very different. Sarah tries to be organized and welcoming, while her sister Linda thinks she's fake and stuck up. At dinner, Max's cousins find his letter to Santa and read it out loud to embarrass him. Humiliated, Max runs to his room, ripping up the letter and losing hope for the holidays. Unbeknownst to Max, this sets off a winter blizzard that affects the entire neighborhood. Max's sister Beth goes into the snowstorm to check on her boyfriend, but never returns. Tom and his brother-in-law Howard go looking for Beth, but are attacked by some terrible creature hiding beneath the snow. When they return, everyone boards up the windows and listens to Max's Omi tell her story about losing hope as a young girl. Her experience with Krampus cost her everyone closest to her, since he punishes all the families, and not just the children. I like that everyone had to put their differences aside to take on this force of evil, but the best part of the movie was definitely the Santa's Little Helpers, and holy crap, they were terrifying. There were elves, and gingerbread men, and a teddy bear, and this flying angel baby thing. Oh, and we can't forget the horrific giant Jack-in-the-Box that has retractable jaws for eating children. Don't get me wrong, Krampus is creepy and his design was cool too, but keep that Jack-in-the-Box away from me. And the gingerbread men while you're at it. Number 2. Gremlins. No sun, no water, and no feeding after midnight. Everyone remembers the rules for caring for Mogwai. Randall Peltzer buys a rare animal in Chinatown and brings it home for his son, Billy. It's called a Mogwai, and there are very strict rules to keep anything from happening to them. After bonding with this sweet little creature he dubbed Gizmo, Billy's friend accidentally gets Gizmo wet, causing him to multiply. The new Mogwai are a lot more mischievous and trick Billy into feeding them after midnight. This causes a metamorphosis into the evil gremlin form. This new form is messy, violent, and rollicking. Then the movie gets legitimately gross and suspenseful. The evil gremlins led by Stripe try to destroy the town, and Billy's mother Lynn has an entire scene of killing them in her kitchen. She stabs, microwaves, and even juices one. It's gore, but it's green blood, so we're getting away with a lot under the PG rating. Of course, Billy has to save the town with Gizmo and his love interest Kate, while making sure no more gremlins duplicate in the process. Highlights of this movie include Randall, the father, whose line deliveries were hilarious, and Gizmo, who was the obvious fan favorite. This is your reminder that Howie Mandel voiced Gizmo. This movie held up surprisingly well, and Gizmo really is as adorable and heartbreaking as I remembered.
And the number 1 best Christmas horror movie is Black Christmas. Black Christmas is considered one of the earliest modern slasher films and heavily influenced its successors, specifically Halloween. The premise of the movie is pretty straightforward and one a modern audience is very familiar with. A group of young ladies live together at a sorority house. They begin receiving obscene phone calls from a mysterious man who threatens to kill them. It's the holiday season though, so these calls are brushed off as a creeper as some of the ladies leave for Christmas. There are a couple of girls though who are left at the house. We see a first-person point of view of a man climbing up the ivy of the house and breaking into the attic. And, well, you can probably see where this is going. This general idea was an urban myth and legend at the time of the film's release, but not the same predictable horror trope that we know it as today. In fact, you can see many elements in the film that would become tropes and staples in the slasher film genre. The movie in and of itself is incredibly creepy without being too gory. It builds suspense really well. Even though I felt like I knew it was going to happen, I was still enthralled and on the edge of my seat. Every time the phone rang, I felt like I had to prepare myself because the calls were just so unnerving. Some of the images are bone-chilling. But perhaps the creepiest element is the ending, so spoiler warning here. The movie leads us to believe that one of the girl's boyfriends has become mentally unstable and is the killer. But then, we see the first-person camera view that is associated with the killer as he climbs back into the attic with the bodies of the first 2 people who he murdered. The killer was never caught, and we never know for certain if he killed the only surviving woman. He's still out there, waiting for his next group of victims.
You guys remember Vernon Wells from Commando, Mad Max 2, The Road Warrior, and Power Rangers Time Force? Well, I'm in a movie with him. Yes, really, and yes, that's my real hair. It's called City of Gold, and it's available now on Amazon, Hulu, iTunes, Google Play, and more. A DVD release is also set for January 1st, 2019. I have an interview up with the director of the film over on my personal channel, so check that out for more information, or go straight to cityofgoldthemovie.com.
We want to hear what you guys think. What's your favorite Christmas horror movie?
What do you want to see us cover next on the show? Leave a comment and let us know.
To keep in touch, you could like my Facebook page or follow along on Twitter.
You can find me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, or subscribe to my animated movie review series right here on YouTube.
And you can find me on Twitter, Instagram, or Twitch, where I stream on Wednesday nights.
We'll catch you back here next week with a spectacular new episode of Top 5.